Hey everybody, Joe Zero here. Today we're going to do something different, like man versus alien in desperate battles. Space Hulk. Yeah, we're going to do a Warhammer sci-fi themed painting video. Originally released in 1989, Space Hulk was a board game where Space Marines go up against Tyranid alien invaders in the cramped sections of Space Hulk. Painted all the Space Marine stuff and sold that years ago, but I had the aliens laying around and never did much with it. So, got this guy's been hanging on my desk, a Broodlord. So, let's see what we got. That's right, Warhammer stuff. Ooh. And look, a shiny new work mat. So, yeah. A clean palette for the project at hand. So here you go. He's been hanging out on my desk for months. This is the model. I assembled him a long time ago. Based it up, and today's the day to paint it. Yeah. A closer look at the subject matter. And one thing I want to do before we get it all primed up, you can fill out this base. Get those little extra overlaps, because it's kind of flat and straight. Fill that spot in there. Maybe take some tube or wires or something and kind of do something with that little negative space. So let me fix that right quick. And we end up with something like this. Use some lengths of guitar string, bend it up, a little glue, some sand to give it a texture, and time for prime. As you can see, we did some priming and got him ready to go. All nice and blacked out. And I think the plan here is we're going to use some deep blue from Army Painter. Use that as a base coat and just cover everything in. Then I'm going to go over it with this alien purple, also from Army Painter. So I got me a large brush in that deep blue. Wet it down just a little bit. I'm going to start in the deepest recesses in the parts where the most shadow will be, where light's not going to hit, like his under tummy and all that. Kind of work up from beneath. Get it all in the recessed areas. Just work it all over the model. Start to build up a surface and a texture for these successive layers. So steady on blue, like that. Most of this step is about coverage. Once I got that on, then I go in with the alien purple. And this is more like a dabble, just kind of hitting it in spots, a little dry brushing type activity. I wouldn't say dry brushing. It's kind of moist for coverage. Just kind of hitting the highlights and the tops of things, leaving that dark blue in the recesses somewhat. Just going to work it all around again, going for an alien purple, purple style Tyranid type thing, yeah. Some nice coverage with it. Goes on real nice. So far so good. Oh boy. Now for the next highlight layer, a grimoire purple from Army Painter. And on this one, it's slightly wet, kind of a dry brush. Basically, I'm just going to hit it from the top, work over the raised surfaces, catch all the details, going from the top down, and only the upper layers, not the undersides of his arms or places that would have shadow naturally, just kind of from the side, work his way down this weird little carapace, the tops of the back of his legs, because he's hunched over, and there's going to be some shadow in there. Just a little bit, work it over his little brain head thing, or his head brain, or his brain's in his head, I don't know. I'm not a xenobiologist. Now for the next step, I took a little red and mixed it in with that grimoire purple for a slightly more vibrant effect. And I'm going to use that to pick out some highlights along the model. Something like this. There we go. Little spiky bits and all that there. Very carefully, just working into a few key spots. Separating to make his forehead defined. So, yeah. If you've made it this far and you're still here, well, you've noticed by now that this is not your average how to paint Warhammer tutorial. This is just me painting a Warhammer model and having fun. And yeah, haven't done this in a long time, so steady on with it. On the armor there and the carapace, like that. Gonna mix some off-white bleach bone in with that for a slightly brighter highlight. And I'm gonna very carefully pick out certain raised areas, almost like a dry brush on this one. Give it some right there for further definition. And it's really starting to take shape well. All the base layer's blocked in here, and I'm digging it. Now that we've blocked in all the colors on the alien, well, I guess we'll take this rough iron and get the base going too. Nice dark iron color, dark bronze metallic. The metallic portions of the base activity. All the spaceshipy stuff with the wires and the hoses and the pipes and the plinth and the floor. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. You get the idea. There's a couple of spots I got to work in here inside the skull pile. Apparently there's some standing on a pile of skulls and dead space marines. So yeah, very interesting base. Once we've established the metallics, I have this burnt umber, which is a very dark brown. Yeah, color theory. But I use that for the giant pile of skulls now, starting underneath its feet and toesies and working my way down, just kind of getting all in there. Like that. Plus the black primer kind of covers over any other spots. You can see the little Space Marine heads shining gold, kind of work around those. Little nuggets. Very unique basing. Honestly, I'm not sure why a space monster would have a giant skull pile, but I'll go figure. It's sci-fi, right? Once that had dried, we're going to take some bleached bone, which I'd mentioned earlier. Look, there it is in the background. And pretty much a nice thin coat. Right there, drag it off. Start at the tops, take some of that excess off. There we go. And kind of like dry brushing, just dragging it straight down. Not really wiggling it as much. Want to leave some definition and shadows in those skulls. The skull pile. Good name for a band. Skull Pile, this weekend only. But yeah. Just working all around there. There's lots of them. Warhammer really likes to put lots of skulls everywhere. Everywhere. Now the next step in this process is to get me some red paint and work in some details like his tongue. Ooh. I'm gonna hit some of those Space Marine skulls, or rather helmets perhaps. Maybe they're ripped off and there's a skull inside. Don't know. It is part of the skull pile, but yeah, got it kind of watery, so it just flows in there. Gets all the recesses and stuff. Like that. And once I've established all the helmets in the base with that same watery red, I'm going to kind of do this weird little piping or siding to kind of give it some definition and break up that purple. You know, because, what is that, like xenomorph tubing, I guess? I don't know. Again, I'm not a xenobiologist. Next thing up, I want to take some of this black paint, and I'm going to do his claws and talons in this black. I was on the fence whether to go with sort of a bone, you know, classic white claw look, but I'm thinking this black's going to go better because, yeah, why not? My model, my rules. Yeah, do that. Get all his little fingers. I'm gonna reach down here and get his little toesies on the base. Just get some definition and that way we can see his foots on the pile of skulls. And that wow, really sets it apart. Then I go back and give this some edge highlight with gray to bring out the definition. Then I'm gonna take some more bleach bone, but this time I'm gonna get it a very light dry brush and just kind of go all around the model. Kind of bring out the last little highlights. Okay, like that. Ease off of it. And then what I ultimately ended up doing is using some Agrax Earthshade to kind of give it a wash. And then I punch in a few highlights. But I forgot to film that because, yeah, like I said, I'm not one of these Warhammer painting tutorial guys. It's just me painting a space monster. Yeah, but that's kind of the process. So if you like it, let me know down below in the comments. Anywho, we're gonna move on to glamour shots now. And here you go. My Warhammer 40,000 Broodlord from the Space Hulk kit. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm digging it. Definitely a tabletop standard you could game with this thing, so yeah. Some nice stature to it. Pretty cool, far out. Nice details, so yeah, hope you liked it. If you do, well, make sure you like and subscribe. Definitely a fun project. Until the next one, gang, take care. Peace, love, and good happiness stuff. And God bless.